we're getting ready to call this one for you guys. It should be a good game. Kind of early on in the season, teams are starting to kind of get their flows, and Bryan has a couple games on their belt now. They got 7 games on their belt, Rossford as well as 7. And so it should be a good kind of test to see for this team. They familiar team, obviously not a league game, but we're starting to get into league play after today. So kind of one final tune-up before we get into that.
Yeah, and the Bears coming off of a tough loss over at Pettiesville last Saturday. Maybe the good thing was you had a little bit of a break and they had a chance to get back in the gym, but the tough thing is they had to wait a full week. They got a full week between games again, the way the holiday falls without a holiday tournament for the boys. So we'll see what kind of work the kids and the coaches have been putting in, see if they can recover from that performance last Saturday night at Pettiesville. Yeah,
and especially during a holiday season as a high school player, you don't have your schoolwork, you get to spend time with your family, maybe eat some of that holiday food, some of those Christmas cookies. It's hard to kind of keep that focus of the game, and we'll see if either of these teams, if that affects them today.
I think that's one of the toughest things about winter sports. Winter sports deals with a lot of holidays, and early in the year you're dealing with Thanksgiving and all of what that entails, and then with Christmas and New Year's and trying to keep your schedule together, things can get disjointed pretty easily.
Yeah, this is your Bryan Athletic Boosters Countdown to Tip-Off. We're going to be right back with more after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
This community is more than a place. It's where we celebrate victories and where we lean on one another in times of loss. At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we're proud to be rooted here, serving with care and compassion when it matters most. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, family owned, family focused.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan Built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan Built.
Welcome back out to the Golden Bear Sports Network. Don Malanga, Brian Arnold on the call.
Reminder that today's game is brought to you by the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Veteran Services of Williams County, Andrews O'Neill and Lowe, Baldy's Furniture, Stark's Plumbing and Heating, and Thiel Supply Center.
Yeah, let's take a look at the last time these two teams have met. And it was last year right around this time, December 28th, about 1 year ago today. And Bryan beat Rossford 69-57. I'm pretty sure Gavin Jessing had a really good game. I think that's one of the ones they always talk about with him. Obviously, he's graduated, and we got a brand new starting 5 on this team. So it's going to be a different team for Bryan, and I'm sure it is for Rossford as well.
And I think Coach Parker would love to see a score in the 60s and see our boys shoot the ball a little bit better. That's been a struggle here early for Bryan basketball, has been putting the ball in the basket. Last Saturday night at Pettiesville was a great example. The boys really didn't play badly. It's just Pettiesville came out and shot the lights out, shot it probably 80% in the first half, including from 3, and Bryan couldn't come close to matching that, and that game got away from him early.
Yeah, another thing about this game is this is the third game of the series between these two teams. Bryan has won the first 2. Rossford's looking to get this third one here. But that's something where when you have teams that you don't necessarily play, you might play them in other sports, you don't play them in basketball, you don't necessarily see these athletes as much. So might be some other guys, they might not be able to game plan as well compared to a team like Pettiesville or Archbold where you see them all the time and they got siblings that play through. This is a team they aren't very familiar with.
Yeah, when you're used to seeing the Archbolds and the Defiances, the Napoleons, and you played against them growing up, you get a good feel for your opponent. You know what people like to do. Rossford's pretty much a blank slate, and you're not used to seeing them, like you said. So, a nice different look, different feel, get a little bit of variety for the kids, but then there's that whole X factor of the unknown out of who's across from you.
Yeah, and speaking of the unknown, let's meet Rossford and kind of learn a little bit more about them.
All right, so Rossford 3-4 have already played 4 league games, 1-3 in the Northern Buckeye Conference. They do the double round in there, so they already got 4 league games in. Head coach John Wright's 3rd season. He's 9-42 overall. Rossford, a pretty good program, though. 3 league championships in the 4 years before Coach Wright's took over. Coming in averaging about 50 a game and allowing just over 52 a game. And then they've had a lot of issues, like a lot of teams have. We've played some teams on both the boys and girls side dealing with some illnesses. Our kids have dealt with it too. So last game they only had 5 players at the varsity level, and one of the things that just make a coach lose his mind, 1 full practice in the last 2 weeks, and no coach feels good about that.
Yeah, that is not what you want. Obviously, it's this time of year it's really hard because you want to push these athletes, but you also know sickness can be a big impact. Looking at their last 5, they had a win against Dansbury, 59-28, a loss at Maumee, 46-61, a loss at Eastwood, 38-57, a loss to Bedford, 48-54, and a win at Northwood, 60-38. Now taking a look at the Bryan Golden Bears, Bryan is 2-5 in the year, and they have yet to play any NWL games. Their coach is the second year, Jacob Parker. He is 10-19 as a coach. And this is the thing you had already kind of mentioned, BA, but something that they want to fix is 36% from the field shooting and 22% from the 3. I'm sure as any coach would like to see that percentage be a lot higher. But another thing that I'm sure that they have worked on at their practices is 55% free throw percentage. You really want that to be at a high school level be around 75%, and 55 is just not going to be doing it for them.
Yeah, looking at our individual numbers earlier, I think Jack Kennedy's been our best free throw shooter at this point, and he's 63% from the line. And you've got guys that are normally good shooters from the free throw line. I think part of the problem is guys haven't gotten to the free throw line very often. When I looked at numbers, just looking 3 guys in our lineup, Tucker Miller's only been there 4 times. Jake Arnold's only been there 6 times. Hunter Watson's been there 6 times. We're not getting to the free throw line. I think that says a little bit about us offensively, too. We're maybe not being aggressive enough to create some situations where we can get to the line.
Yeah, and that's probably part of the reason that we're only scoring 40.2 points per game. Like you had said earlier, I'm sure Coach Parker would love to see that number be up in the 60s today. But really, their defense has been good, only allowing 42 points per game. They've been close, just haven't been able to do it. Since the Hicksville win, the Bears are on a 3-game losing streak, and they've been outscored 166-113. And, we're kind of around that holiday season where some of that focus might not be there, and the Hicksville game was around that time as well. So hopefully they can kind of come back after a good time with their family, a good Christmas, and get that focus back.
Yeah, but hopefully the minds are right. The Bears need a win tonight. They're dealing with a maybe a little bit depleted Rossford team. Maybe they haven't practiced very much, but they got a big man inside, 6'7" sophomore. Jackson Greer comes in averaging a double-double at 18 and 16, and they've got 3 guys that are averaging double digits or close to. So they're going to have their hands full defensively regardless of who's on the floor.
Yeah, and a quick look at the NWAL standings. Patrick Henry with Krieger has been phenomenal. They're 7-0 to start the season. Archbold 5-0, haven't played as many games, have lost the same amount though. And then the rest of the league is a bit of a toss-up. Delta was pretty good last year. They've lost some good players. And the rest of it is just kind of in the middle there. It'll be really interesting to see how that all plays out with the conference games.
Yeah, those 3 at the top, and then Evergreen scores a ton of points, so they're going to be in every ball game they play just by how well they can score it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the NBC. We got Genoa leading, and you got Rossford towards the bottom, but they have a win there. Honestly, a pretty tough conference to play in, though.
Yeah, a lot of good schools, a lot of good basketball talent in that league.
All right, we're going to take another quick break, and then we're going to be back after this with your keys to the game and game officials after this on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan Built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan Built.
Here in Williams County, we believe that no veteran should feel forgotten. Our Veteran Service Office is here to serve, helping with VA claims, pensions, healthcare enrollment, and so much more. We're veterans serving veterans with dignity, honor, and respect. Reach out to us today to see how we can help, because the only veteran we can assist is the one that doesn't contact us.
Welcome back out to the Bears Den. Don Malanga, Brian Arnold on the call as we're getting set for the boys basketball matchup between the Bryan Golden Bears and the Rossford Bulldogs. We're going to get our keys to the game sponsored by the Carlin Company Realty and Auctioneers. They've been your hometown real estate company for over 45 years. They've consistently remained number one in Williams County and the surrounding areas since 2007. Calls for all your real estate needs.
All right, so let's look at Rossford first. Come in here. They know that the Bears, when they've been good defensively, it's been since they implemented that matchup 2-3, 1-2-2 zone that they've been running. So we make good decisions against that. They've got a little bit of an advantage here as far as length goes, and the Bears have struggled on the boards just by size and by situation. So dominate the glass and then play good perimeter defense. Don't allow a team who's not shot the ball well to get hot. They want to continue to challenge shooters and hope, like you said, we stay in that 36% range, 20% range from three. And if we do, then it's going to be a pretty good night for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, like you said, they got some height on their team. They got a 6'5" player and a 6'7" player on their team. So that's definitely going to be a big key for them. Let's take a look at the Bryan's keys to the game.
All right, on the Golden Bears side, need to create some turnovers, especially if Rossford's going to play with a little less depth tonight. They have a lot of young guys like we do. They're a sophomore team, only 2 seniors on the roster, a junior that plays, and then some sophomores. So try to take advantage of that on the perimeter, force some turnovers, and then use turnovers to get in transition and hopefully up that scoring a little bit with some easy shots around the basket and make some layups, and then limit paint touches. So they're going to have to work hard on that player inside. I think, with Tucker Watson is a big, strong post defender. He can make life hard on their post player. It's a senior versus a sophomore, and you want your senior to be able to control the paint and not allow anything easy for the youngster.
Yeah, and looking at him right now, he looks like he's going to be a threat in the paint, so definitely something that Bryan might have to work by committee there. You might see somebody double down low on a help side defense just to shut him down if that's going to be a problem for the Bears.
That's a good point.
All right, our game officials today are sponsored by Tri-State Vision Center. Tri-State Vision Center has been serving the area since 1977. Contact us at either our Bryan or Montpelier offices for all your eye care needs. Today we have a 3-man crew of Craig Druys, Jimmy Teege, and Alan Miller.
That's a pretty good crew for the Saturday night in December, non-league game. Some veteran officials there that we've seen around, so hopefully a good crew tonight and a good call here, a good whistle for the ball game.
Yeah, I know at the Pettiesville game they kind of were letting them play a little bit. We're a little bit less on the whistle. We'll see how that is today. This has been the Bryan Athletic Boosters countdown to tip-off. Starting lineups and more coming up on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
From the first whistle to the final buzzer, life is filled with moments that shape us. Moments of victory, of challenge, of community. At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we're honored to stand by families through every season of life. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, family-owned, family-focused.
Discover great job skills training at Northwest State. With over 50 different programs available, there is something for everyone. Providing hands-on training and education is the community college advantage.
Welcome back out to the Golden Bears Sports Network. We're getting ready to tip this thing off between Rossford and the Bryan Golden Bears. Any final thoughts before we get this thing started?
Well, I think it's a little bit like we talked about. Something's got to change here offensively for the Bears, and they've got to find a way to get more consistency and shoot the ball better. You can be as good as you want to be defensively, but if you are forcing yourself into a position where every night the other team has to score in the 30s or you can't win, that's going to make things really hard. So the Bears have got to find some offense, and it's got to come from multiple places. It's, we don't have not Brian Lepelmeyer. He's the head coach. We don't have him either. But we don't have his son, Jack Lepelmeyer. We don't have Fiddler. We don't have Ewers from Delphos St. John's, the foster kids from Lima Senior. We've got to find a way to get whoever our 5 on the floor are playing together, getting each other good shots, moving the basketball, and creating good opportunities. And then we've got to make shots.
Exactly.
And that's the only way the thing's going to get turned around here is if we can find a way to fix this offensively.
Yeah, this has been your pregame show. We're going to take it down to the floor as we get our national anthem, which is sponsored by the Veteran Services of Williams County.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bryan High School for tonight's basketball game, featuring the visiting Rossford Bulldogs and your Bryan Golden Bears. Ladies and gentlemen, America's land of free and home of the brave, and that freedom has been afforded us by the dedication and sacrifice of brave servicemen and women currently deployed throughout our communities and around the world, and many others who have come before us. To thank these extraordinary men and women, to honor our nation, would you please rise in the playing of our national anthem. requirements set by OSSAA and have been approved for tonight's roll. Our officials for tonight are Mr. Craig Javies, Mr. Jeremy T.G., and Mr. Alan Miller. Gentlemen, welcome to Bryan. In order to make today's contest as enjoyable as possible, please represent your school and community in a positive and respectful manner. That means follow the rules, speak and act responsibly, show courtesy and respect for your fellow fans, the officials and coaches, the administration, authority figures, and of course your team and their opponents. Let's make tonight's contest great. Remember to respect the game. Thank you. Now to meet the teams. First for the guests on the scoreboard, the Rossford Bulldogs. Starters for Rossford, number 1, Colton Hoskins. Number 10, Levi Grimm. Number 12, Landon Scherer. Number 21, Carter Matthews. And number 34, Jackson Greer. Varsity coaches Jonathan Reeds, assisted by Larry Ellison, Dakota Sinclair, Todd Grisbeck, Mike Weeks, and Connor Mitt. Make some noise for your Golden Bears! At a guard, a 5'10" sophomore, number 3, Bryce Welling. At a guard, a 6-foot senior, number 4, Jack Kennedy. At a forward, a 6'2" sophomore, number 12, a 6-foot freshman, number 14, Arnold. And at center, a 6'5", senior, number 34, Tucker Watson. Varsity coaches Jacob Parker, assisted by Casey Smith, Alan Chad Bassett, and Maurice Newman. Gentlemen, let's play ball.
Those were your starting lineup, sponsored by Bryan Ford Lincoln. Bryan Ford Lincoln, located at 920 North Main Street, where good values mean a great deal. We're getting ready to tip this thing off. Any final words?
I think it's imperative for the Bears to have a good start here. Got to find some confidence early. You don't want to get into the mindset of here we go again. So the Bears need to come out, get some buckets, get some stops, and get a good feel, because the last time they did that at home, it translated to one of those 2 wins.
On the tip will be Watson for Bryan and Matthews for Rossford, and we're off. Rossford wins the tip, and it'll be their ball. Going to start to Grimm at the top. He's going to pass it to Schroeder. He's going to get it into Matthews, and he makes it go. 2-pointer from inside the key.
Yeah, nice look in there. Good left-handed finish out of Matthews. Only 1 senior starter here for Rossford, and then a freshman and 3 sophomores. So some youth against some youth. Bears have a little bit more senior experience.
3 from Arnold off the left side of the rim, and rebounded there by Rossford, the big guy. Rossford taking it up quick. They're going to find Grimm.
Be interested to see what kind of pace Rossford plays at, how deep they were able to go tonight with that illness they've had.
Yeah. Looks like they're trying to go fast right now, but if their bench is not that deep, they're not going to want to go too fast. Hoskins has the ball up top, Grouder did. See Bryan's running a little bit of that zone as Welling gets the steal, and he'll take it up for the Bears.
Nice job out of the matchup zone there by Bryce Welling, getting a hand on that deflection, and an even better pass at the other end.
Yeah, that's a great find. A jump stop and finds wide open Tucker Watson, and he's not missing from there.
A good find, and getting Watson going early is big for the Bears. Tucker Watson could do a lot of good things inside. He's got good hands, good finisher.
Yeah, now we see Bryan in a little bit of a full court zone press here. And Welling really good with the hands at the ball, trying to just be in a pain for this player here. Sure has a hard time, and it's going to be bounced around. Going to be a shot from the center there. Can't get it to fall, and McGill's going to get the board. That was Jackson Greer on the shot, just couldn't get it to fall.
We talked about Greer, comes in averaging a double-double. His first look of the night as a baseline jumper didn't go.
Welling again driving his shot, can't find the net. And Watson trying to get it, but Greer ends up falling away with that one.
Good job by Bryce Welling. He can get to the basket. A little struggle finishing right now, but Bryce will get the ball to the basket as good as anybody that the Bears have.
Here we see again Rossford, a long skip pass, ends up trying to get to Greer, and he tips it around, but it goes straight to Arnold's hands. Arnold's driving, he's going to have a foul on the floor. I think they're going to give that on number 12, Landon Scherer.
Yeah, nice job by the Bears. Good action on that end, both the last 2 times getting hands-on passes, forcing a couple turnovers out of Rossford.
Kennedy inbound, he's going to throw it to Arnold. Arnold's shot is cash.
Good look off of the inbounds play there. Good execution by the Golden Bears.
Yeah, good shot there by the freshman. And Bryan right back into their full court zone. Tried to get a trap in the corner, but they were able to find their big man. That was Carter Matthews, and he has an easy layup over the top of Tucker Watson.
Had a couple of stumbling left-handed finishes for Matthews early.
The inbound pass, or the in pass to Watson was tipped away, and that'll be a turnover for Bryan.
A little errant with the pass there.
That's a good active hands from Arnold as he's going to drive the hole, the moving layup, and it's good.
Well, if you turn it over, the best thing you do is get a steal at half court. You got 2 options, the dumb foul or the good steal, and we went with the good steal that time.
Yeah, really good job there by Arnold to recover from that earlier mistake.
Nice activity again from the Bears. Hands on another one, a good run out.
Yeah, that's another easy layup there for Arnold. And Bryan's zone defense is giving Rossford a fit right now.
Yeah, good activity by the guards on the perimeter. We've got 3 or 4 deflections already in this ball game.
Yeah, it just seems like they're forcing passes a little bit too much as he's going to get trapped in the corner. And another turnover and a steal for Arnold. He's going to pass it up to Kennedy. Kennedy, easy layup with the left, and it's good. And it has really quickly turned into an 11-4 game with 4 minutes and 35 seconds to go on the main stop scoreboard. Always open when you need them. You're always in your main stop with Thirsty Thursday every Thursday.
Exactly what Coach Parker talked about. Use your defense to lead to some offense, and that's what's going on right now for the Bears.
Yeah, Watson was trying to get the rebound. It was a little bit of an over the back there from Carter Matthews, and it's going to be Bryan's ball again. And the last thing you want right now is to just give that ball away and have a quick turnover again.
I'm impressed with Matthews, the lefty sophomore comes in, just averaging 6 points. He's got their 4 already, but 7 boards tonight too, so his activity's not surprising.
Yeah, Kennedy's going to take the ball up. And this is the kind of motion they like to run. They want to pass and cut in as we're going to find a wide open Watson. And that's a tough layup, but he gets it good with the right.
A good offense there by the Bears. Ball never stayed in one place for more than a second. Ball moved quickly with purpose, and that's a really good sign for the Golden Bears offense because the ball can get stuck at times in the rotation. Another deflection. They don't get the turnover.
A good, nice little layup. He couldn't get it to fall, but that was a good move from Hoskins there. And another shot there from Matthews can't fall. They've been trying to find Matthews at the top of the key, and they have not been able to get a good pass to him yet. Watson at the top of the free throw line, and it's good. And Watson is having himself a day. 6 points already, and we're going to time out for Rossford, and we're going to take it with them. We'll be back after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
The historic Bryan Arts and Education building is being renovated for the next generation, transforming it into a welcoming, accessible space where performances and events can be comfortably enjoyed. The $6.2 million project adds lobby and backstage space, new seating, lights and sound system, accessibility, and additional parking. Because here in Bryan, art connects us. Your support, big or small, makes a lasting impact, inspiring generations to come. Donate and learn more at bryanarts.org.
And Kennedy can't get it to fall. And now Rossford gets the ball, and hopefully they can slow it down a little bit and try to get something going on offense here.
Unfortunately, Jack heard me talk about that hot shooting start, not able to convert off of a nice look there. Another turnover. That's 6 turnovers already for Rossford.
Yeah, that one was Jackson Drews back off the bench. He's a sophomore. He tried to take a little bit of a cut, just forgot to put the ball down and dribble it.
Got going a little quicker than his feet wanted to get moving.
Yeah, I know all about my brain moving faster than my feet. Arnold here at the top of the circle. He's going to pass it to Miller, who had a great day off the bench. As Arnold's going to have another 3 off the front of the rim and out. And, yeah, we had a really good game from Miller against Pettysville. I think he had 9 off the bench, so that's somebody that they can rely on to get some points off the bench.
Yeah, he was definitely a bright spot for the Bears coming off the bench. Shot the ball really well.
We're going to get a foul on the arm there from Tucker Watson. Tried to defend that inbound pass and just couldn't get enough of the ball.
And that's the most important thing for Tucker Watson here in the early season. Keep himself out of foul trouble. Don't get too many whistles. Find a way to be on the floor because he's so valuable for the Bears when he's on the floor offensively. He's the one presence that they have that they can put in the paint.
Yeah, they really don't have any other paint options other than I think him and Cooper Beltran are the only 2 guys that really play the post at all.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get a second right there. Just lost the battle down there to the sophomore. He picked up his second. That's tough luck there, too, in one trip.
Yeah, and that was Jackson Greer. Did a good job of getting his own rebound and then putting it back up and scoring. And a chance for a 3-point play here as we're going to see McGill come in for Welling. And just as we mentioned his name, Cooper Beltran's going to come in for Watson.
Yeah, and right here, Cooper Beltran's got to be able to give some valuable minutes to the Bears because that's going to put Watson on the bench. 2:25 left in the opening quarter, and they're going to want to be able to sit him as much of the first as they can.
Yeah, and that's 2 guys who have scored a little bit for the Bears. They're both coming out, so we're going to have to see maybe some Jack Kennedy step up and hopefully some Tucker Miller and Rhett McGill as well.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the only part of Jack Kennedy's game that hasn't shown up yet this year is his ability to score the basketball. Shot it good this summer, played really good in the summertime offensively. It's there. He's just got to find a night where he feels really comfortable and makes things happen.
Miller's going to turn that ball over. He's trying to go for a layup and just good defense there. I think that was Jackson Greer down low.
Well, since the timeout, Rossford has gotten a couple stops, got a 3-point play, kind of got things balanced out a little bit. Good timeout by Coach Wrights, and now it's time for the Bears to find that momentum. You had a really good run going. You can't lose your focus because of a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, it sucks as a coach to have to use a timeout that early, but it seemed to be a really good decision by Coach Wrights.
Yeah, that's why you call him.
All right, so Rossford again. They're taking these long passes to break the zone, and it's going to be a 3-point shot. Can get its fall, and that's a good board there by Miller, and he's going to get fouled on the way down. Just a really good job there to put his body on the line and get that ball.
Yeah, and talk about there's another tough luck foul for a big man in this game. Jackson Greer picks one up, just going hard for the basketball, and then goes right through the back of Tucker Miller.
Yeah, so Bryan's going to get the ball again. Still 15-7, minute 48 to go on our main stop scoreboard. Kennedy's going to take it up. He's going to find Beltran at the elbow. Beltran to Arnold. Arnold to Miller. Miller in the corner for the 3, off the front rim and out. And we're going to get another rebounding foul. I think they're going to put that at number 12, Landon Schur. They are.
And that'll be his second early there. Nice shot by Jack Kennedy getting position on the backside. Good activity by the Bears attacking the boards.
Yeah, and that's the 4th foul, so one more in this quarter. We're going to be getting the bonus. So pretty good chance for those free throws that we mentioned earlier on in the keys to the game.
And that's where the Bears have got to recognize that, whether it's on the bench or on the floor. You got to recognize, attack the basket, draw that 5th foul, and then everything's free throws from there on out.
Kennedy's jumper can't fall, and it'll be Rossford ball. Taking it up is Drewsback. And another turnover by Rossford, and it should be an easy layup for Kennedy.
Nice,
it is.
Nice poke away there by Bryce Welling. Again, being really active on the wing of that zone. Leads to an easy bucket for the senior on the other end.
Yeah, that's something I was really impressed with is that, almost over and back. He managed to keep his feet in front of the line.
Just got those feet down.
Yeah, that's a really risky pass, but you kind of have to make that long pass to break this zone. They're going to find Odenweiler in the corner.
Oh, great anticipation by Tucker Miller. Couldn't get it, but the Bears come up with a turnover anyway.
Yeah, another steal for Welling. He's going to try to drive to the hole. We're going to get no call. It's going to stay with Bryan, though. And that's something at the Pettysville game I was really impressed with was Bryce Welling and his defensive ability. I know he did not shoot the way he wanted to, but he was still a threat on defense.
He loves to get the ball to the basket, too. That was a good job by him initiating contact.
We're gonna get
the
Arnold
official didn't want to give the shooting foul, I guess, so at least gives the Bears the ball back.
It should still be 5 on bonus, but unless they called it out of bounds.
He just called it out of bounds.
It's going to be inbound play here from Miller. Miller's to Rhett. Rhett's going to give it to Cooper. Back to Miller in the corner. The three-pointer off the back iron and out. And rebound there.
Couple good looks for Tucker Miller. Needs to keep shooting it. He's been shooting from 3 with a little bit of confidence. and that needs to continue. It needs to be a threat for the Bears coming in off the bench.
It's going to be interesting who they put that foul on. I think they're going to give it to Bell. They're going to give it to Miller. So that's Miller's first foul. And that's probably best case scenario for the Bears on that foul. They don't want another postman being in foul trouble this early.
Now, they played small. They'll move Rhett McGill in there, and they'll bring Kennedy back on the floor if they need to. They've used that small lineup a few times, but you're already giving away some inches to Rossford tonight, so you want to do that if you don't have to.
Odenweiler with inbound pass. He's going to get it to Hoskins. Hoskins going to drive on Miller. He finds Odenweiler, and they're going to take it back up. Good defense there by the Bears. 21 seconds left to play. Rossford's probably going to play for the last shot here.
Bears doing a good job of getting two perimeter players every time. That's a good finish. I tell you, Greer's a big, strong body. If you're going to foul him, you better foul him hard because he's going to make it through soft contact.
Yeah, and that was just good ball movement there by Rossford. A good find there by Matthews. We talk about his height and his ability to rebound. That was a great find as well to find Greer open down low, and he puts it away through the contact. Like
a little high-low action there. Some old-school post play. One post player high, the other one down on the block. Nice diagonal entry.
Yeah, and what looked to be pretty bad situation for the Bulldogs has turned out to be not bad. 13 seconds left, down 17-10. Welling's going to take the ball up.
Well, since that 15-4 at the timeout, Rossford's got themselves settled down.
5
got
seconds.
Good looks offensively.
Looks like some contact, and he ends up making it still. He wanted the foul.
Threw a lot of contact there, and a nice big shot by Tucker Miller.
Yeah, great finish by Tucker Miller. And we're through one quarter here at the Golden Bear Sports Network. We're going to be back after this.
Fallen on hard times? At the Williams County Veteran Service Office, we're here when life gets tough. We provide emergency financial assistance for housing, food, and utilities, plus transportation to VA medical appointments. Whether you need help today or just someone who understands, we're ready to serve. Please reach out to see what we can do for you, because the only veteran we can't assist is the one that doesn't contact us.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Trust is built when we know someone has our back, on the field, in the stands, and in life. At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we're more than a service provider. We're neighbors and friends. For generations, families have trusted us to care for their loved ones with compassion and dignity.
We're back here on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Second quarter about to be underway here as Bryan leads 20-10 on your main stop scoreboard. And a pretty good first half there for the Bears. They'll take that.
Very good opening quarter. 20 points in the quarter. They forced 8 turnovers. Probably the only thing that didn't go well. Only 2 of 6 from 3, but the Bears don't shoot the 3 very well, so they're going to take that 33%. So a real good start. And the bad news on the defensive end were the 2 fouls on Tucker Watson. So Cooper Beltran's going to start off here in the second quarter as that post player, and Coach Parker and his crew will see how long they can ride that.
Yeah, and we'll see Kennedy comes back in there for Miller after that great 3 at the end of the half, through a lot of through a lot of contact. Welling's going to drive here. He's looking for something. He'll dish it off to Kennedy.
And this is what the Bears can't afford to be. They get a little bit passive against zone at that time, and got to look for somebody else to take the shot, somebody else to get the ball to the basket, and need to find that aggressiveness again offensively.
Yeah, Kennedy's wide open there on the zone, but he's going to miss right, and that's just a shot he doesn't want to miss, and we're going to get a foul, I think, on McGill there.
Yeah, and that's going to be 2 on McGill, so now you've got 2 of your post players with 2 fouls early.
Looks like we're going to get Tucker Miller back in here, and that's a shot that Jack Kennedy really wants to make.
Yeah, I think that's a good open look. Wasn't challenged, caught Rossford flat-footed. You're not going to get too many open looks where you have a chance to keep your feet set. He's not going to miss too many of those.
And that's exactly what you're saying with breaking that zone. They just had to pass it a couple times, and Rossford's zone kind of collapsed. They were all stuck in the middle, and it left somebody open. So that's going to be something that I think they're going to be able to attack.
Yeah, and the ball's just got to move a little quicker. It's moving, but it's got to move quicker and with some purpose, and that's where they found some open looks early when they were able to do that.
Man, that's a really good job there by Greer as he makes it through 2 people there.
Yeah, good strong move. That sophomore, you can see that 18 points a night average coming out. He's got 8 already, and he hasn't shot anything from outside of 3 feet.
Yeah, so now we see Bryan trying to attack this defense here. Back in this zone for Rossford. A little bit of a weird dribble there for Miller.
Lost the handle and found it again.
Welling's going to try to drive here like he always loves to do.
Yeah, and right
Takes
now
on 3 defenders, and he's going to get fouled.
Good job by Bryce Welling. You had Greer all the way out at 17 feet chasing him at the top of the key. If you can pull the 6'7" kid away from the basket, something's got to go towards the hoop, and Bryce Willing turned the corner and at least got himself going that way.
Yeah, now Bryce is going to get to shoot some Welling Construction free throws. Welling Construction, a third-generation family-owned general contractor. We specialize and pride ourselves in building quality custom homes, major renovation projects, and commercial work. Your vision, our expertise. Contact us at 419-636-3712, and that's Welling's first points for the night.
Bryce Welling does a little bit of everything. He's always going to show up somewhere. If he doesn't get points, it's going to be deflection and steals. If he doesn't get deflection and steals, he's going to find a way to get some points. Never question his effort. He's always going to find a way to be productive.
There's a missed free throw there, just about that 50% mark that they've been shooting this year.
Yeah, that's something that definitely has to improve for the Bears. When you're struggling offensively, you need all the free ones you can get.
Good communication here by Bryan's defense. Looked like there was a little bit of a confusion there, but they were able to get it. And a good tip there from Jack. And we're going to get a foul there on Bryce. And that's the thing. Bryce plays defense really aggressive. He's going to pick up fouls. If you're Coach Parker, you're fine with that because he's going to steal probably one or two of those times for every time he fouls.
That aggressiveness has led to about 3 or 4 deflections and steals so far. So you can give him 1 or 2 of those. That time just a little overly aggressive on the wrist of the Rossford player.
So Rossford again, they're going to have Drews back, who's kind of been in it for a while. Came off the bench and he's been in it for most of the half.
Yeah, honestly. Comes off the bench. Second leading scorer though, comes in averaging 11 and 4 boards. So he gets his minutes. Bears thought they had a turnover there. They do get that one. Yep. Bryce Welling got to it up ahead to Jake Arnold. He'll finish.
Yeah, that was really good defense. You know, Arnold jumped a little bit too far, but Welling did a good job staying on his man. He could have tried to switch over and left a guy open, but he read the ball perfectly.
Worked out good for the Bears. Arnold stayed in the backcourt, cherry picking off of his miss.
Missed layup there from Drews
again, and it's been 3 finishes and 3 trips to the free throw line. Bears have got to make up their mind whether they're going to foul him hard and make sure he doesn't get this bucket, or they just got to let him have his 2 and get out of the way, because our plan so far of tapping him on the wrist is not a good plan.
Yeah, I just want to see a little bit better of a box out there. You know, Greer has probably gotten half of his points just from attacking the boards and getting a putback shot, and then it's going to be this will be 6 points from plays like that where he gets fouled on a layup if he makes this free throw. So just something the Bears got to do is just put their butts into the player and box him out a little bit stronger.
Yeah, he's got a great touch. He's got 3 traditional 3-point plays and 11 points. The Bears can stop that at any point now, and that was 2 fouls on Bryce Welling. So now he's down and Miller's back in.
We're going to get a shot from Kennedy, and that one's good. And Kennedy gets a shot to fall, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, that's what you want out of your senior. He caught that shot without any thought. Feet were set, great rhythm. Looked extremely confident stepping into that shot, and that's what the Bears need. And another turnover.
And
Kennedy's going to sprint it down. Good hustle by Jack, and all the Rossford defenders ran away from him.
Yeah.
Good decision.
They
ran into the shooters.
Yeah, they forgot the guy had the ball right open down low.
Jack was like, well, I'll stay here with the ball, and just about got himself a 3-point play.
Instead, he'll be at the line shooting 2 Welling Construction free throws. And like you said, Kennedy has been the leading free throw shooter for the Bears, at least percentage-wise. Still not the percentage he wants to be at, but definitely the guy they want to be at the line.
And with free throws, it's all about getting there. You can shoot them all day in the gym in practice. You can shoot them in the morning. You can shoot them whatever you want. But if you're not shooting them with the fans in the stands and a little bit of noise around you and feeling that isolation standing there, you're not going to get comfortable. And the Bears just haven't got to the line enough to even get comfortable.
Yeah, and both of those are good for Kennedy. And so he's got 9 points on the day. And the Bears lead 28-5. And they're going to get a violation there. Kind of a interesting call. They're going to say that Rossford passed the ball in, and he stepped out of bounds.
So he stepped over the line before he threw it. He must have, I didn't look, but he must have thought somebody was there to throw it to and started to step and then had a double clutch on it.
Now we're going to get the refs to come in, and looks like Beltran and Matthews were getting into a bit of a scuffle there.
Everybody's just trying to figure out where their spot is in the stack.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted that piece of floor versus the other piece of floor.
Ended up that Cooper got his spot on the floor. They're going to find an open Arnold. He's going to drive, kick it out to Kennedy. Kennedy's going to drive with his left. He's going to pass it out to Miller. Miller's 3, no good off the back of the iron. And a good rebound there from Greer.
Yeah, some good box outs by Rossford, watching all the way around there. Another good look for Miller. He's going to get one to go. That's become a weapon for the Bears.
They're going to try to find Greer down low. And they're going to call a foul on Beltran there. Bit of a push off. I'm not too sure. There wasn't a lot of contact there, but looked like Greer did a good job of selling it.
Yeah, I think so. It's been called tight. A little tighter here in the second quarter. Already 4 fouls on the Bears, so now it's free throws all the rest of the way out, and it's only 4.5 into the second quarter right now.
Yeah, and that's something that you probably don't want to send Greer to the line right now.
No, we've seen he's pretty good.
It's a really good post move there by Greer. Just typical spinning, getting your lead foot through and having a nice layup.
Yeah, and he's getting some high percentage looks too. Like I said, his buckets are all coming from about 3 feet away from the hoop.
Yeah, and he's really been their whole offense here as he has 13 of their 17 points.
The Bears still with an 11-point lead. He can have his. You just can't let anybody else go off and beat you. And there we go.
Another three-pointer
Jack
from Kennedy
with another.
Yep, he's starting to get hot a little bit. You know, he snuck his way up there to be in the leading scorer right now. He's got 12.
Back-to-back threes for the senior, and both of those looked smooth and confident.
Three-pointer here. Tried to match it from Rossford. It's going to be off Greer's hand, and it's going to be going for Bryan. And that's one thing is that the zone is giving them open opportunities to shoot from that kind of corner 3 spot, and they have not really been able to hit it yet. And we will take that if that's the zone we're going to be playing.
Right, and you got to get a body on Greer. Nobody got a body on Greer again that time, but the Bears got lucky. The ball went off his hands and out of bounds. We got to get way more physical, getting a backside on him when he goes to the offensive glass.
Yeah, and Hunter Watson's going to be in for the Bears, the sophomore.
Oh, heat check by Jack Kennedy there, doesn't go.
Yeah, it'll again be Rossford with 3 minutes and 25 seconds left to go on your main stop scoreboard. Bryan leads 31-17.
Bears continue to stay in the zone. They haven't come out of it yet tonight. Doing a really good job of matching up. And Drewsbach found the baseline, but Beltran blocked it. And then you're going to get the second one on Greer. That's a good job by Cooper Beltran. He got the block, and then he got position on Greer and drew a second foul on the sophomore, so now he's got 2.
Yeah, that's really good physical play there by Beltran. You know, just getting your body in there, not really denying that entry pass, and then just not really letting him get that putback shot. He was a little bit worried for a second that they were calling the foul on him.
I think that's what he thought. He thought maybe they caught him. He was getting ready to protest.
Yeah. You see Beltran down low. We're going to work on Greer. Bit of a missed dribble, but they're going to get to Arnold. Arnold has a wide open shot and just spins around the rim, can't get it to fall.
Nice find there by Cooper Beltran. That's an open look the Bears like to see go down out of their offense. You get a nice shot out of your offense. And those are the ones that have to go if the Bears are going to get better offensively, and that's just not a very smart foul. We're going to let Greer catch the ball 17 feet away. That's perfectly fine. He's not hurting us from 17. He's hurting us from 1.
Yeah.
So don't put him at the free throw line and don't foul him that far away from the basket. That's just not a very smart play for a senior.
And you can tell Beltran was really frustrated about that. Just a little bit too aggressive there. And like you said, we don't need to foul him at the elbow. We can foul him if he's going to be down low, but at the elbow, he has not been shown himself to be dangerous yet.
No, let's go ahead and let him shoot from out there because he's killing us everywhere else.
Yeah, and there's another, gets his first free throw to fall there for Greer, and that's 14 on the night for him.
Rossford is 4 of 4 from the line, and it's all been Jackson Greer.
Second one off front iron can't go, and Beltran does a good job to get the rebound. Now Bryan's going to push up quick. Arnold finds Kennedy, back to Arnold. Arnold with the drive, hands it off to Kennedy. Kennedy finds Miller. Miller to Watson.
The ball's just got to keep moving. Bears got to move the basketball.
And a good shot there by Miller. I'll tell you what, that's the second three he shot, and I'm like, it does not look good out of his hand, but he finds a way to make it fall. And that's 6 points there for Miller off the bench.
Nice job by Tucker Miller again being a presence, and that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Tucker Miller just trying to be in the way. He jumped backwards.
Yeah, just trying to do anything, and it's going to send him to the line again for another 3-point. Sorry, not another 3-point play. This one's Matthews.
Matthews will
I'm
take
so
his
used
turn.
I'm so used to seeing Greer down there.
Yeah, and that's 6 for Matthews. He's already at his average. But again, 6'5" and a lefty coming against a team that doesn't have a lot of post players, especially with Watson out. So he's done a nice job of taking advantage.
And Matthews there, he misses his Welling Construction free throw. I want to see, honestly, Bryan have been able to shoot this 3 a lot better now with the zone. I guess they're back to they're still in the zone. So, I mean, normally they want to drive and cut into the hole, and they really haven't had to do that because they've been able to make their threes.
Rossford's matched up now in man, and the Bears are still running their zone offense.
Yeah, and so we're going to see Arnold here drive in. Tries to find it down low and gets fouled. And tried to find, I think it was Watson he was looking for down low, and just gets a lot of contact there. And it's going to be Bryan.
They're going to give him 2 free throws. Made it look enough like a shot, but I saw the same thing you did and that he did. He saw Hunter Watson was open, trying to find him with a quick little diagonal, but he's going to end up with 2 free throws out of it.
Yeah.
And this is a place where Arnold has to get better. He's been really bad from the free throw line. That's now 2 of 7 on the season.
Yeah, definitely something where, it's called a free throw for a reason. You want to get those free points as much as you can. And, it's tough as a freshman coming in and playing varsity, but, he holds himself to a really high standard, and that's something he really wants to improve on.
He's been shooting free throws since he was 5, so it really doesn't matter. At 15 at this point, you're not a freshman. You've been shooting a lot of basketballs. So it's just a matter of taking your time and making shots.
And there he goes. He gets that one to fall. So minute 35 left on the main stop scoreboard. Always open when you're near them. Always open when you need them. You're always near a main stop Thirsty Thursday every Thursday. And we're going to see what Rossford can do down 15, minute 25 left.
Looked like a couple of carries there with the left hand by Rossford.
Yeah, good defense there. You can tell they're trying to sell that foul a little bit as Arnold was just playing good physical defense, had a little bit of a motion there. And that's really good defense there by Beltran.
That was. Drusbach dropped his shoulder into, who was that, into Beltran?
Yeah, it was.
I think that probably should have just been an offensive call. It was pretty obvious.
Yeah, but Gonzalez goes to get the rebound. He gets the rebound and against his teammate Jack Kennedy and falls over, and that's one of those travels that just kind of sucks. I like that defense there from Arnold.
Nice job again. Bears, of course, another turnover. Jack Kennedy is having himself a nice junior high night. A lot of steals at half court and transition into layups for 14 points.
And that's a really tough one to get. He couldn't really get control of the ball until he was about the three-point line.
And then a little dirty right there. Right in front of the official. Thank you. Yeah. He saw what we saw. The kid dropped an elbow on Jack when he fell down. And that was plenty purposeful.
Yeah, just not something you want to see.
Yeah.
And he goes. And now Bryan's going to get to the line and get the ball back, right, with that turnover.
And Drusbach should get free throws for Rossford.
Yeah, one of those weird official plays where he's going to get 2, Kennedy's going to get 1.
Should be 2 and 2, and then it'll be Bears possession because of the technical. So Drusbach will shoot his first.
And he does have to come off on a technical, right? Or is that?
Nope.
Okay.
Generally, a coach will do that.
That's probably why I'm so used to it.
Yeah. But, we're as thin as air. He's not going to take him off right now because he's got his 2 free throws.
Yep, so his first one will fall.
And that was just a good hard play. He didn't like how tightly Jack Kennedy was defending him. Jack didn't do anything other than try to play him tight. The official called the foul. And then when Donsbach fell down, he threw the elbow and hit Jack in the back, and it was right in front of the official, right in front of all of us and God. Pretty an easy technical foul call if you're that official.
And Kennedy's got to shoot from the loneliest place ever. This will be the most open he'll ever be, as everybody's got to stay on the side of the court for his free throws as he misses his first. Gets the second to fall. And it's going to be their ball with 51 seconds left to go. Is 51 seconds too much time to try to take the last shot?
I would think so, just because you're up 16. I don't know. I think you just run your offense and look for your shot. The biggest problem for the Bears is they just don't want anybody else to pick up a foul in this situation when they're playing defense. But I'd say run your offense if you can. Great. If you can run your offense, be crisp with the ball and get one shot, great. Otherwise, get the best shot, play defense.
Exactly. We see Odenweiler come in for Greer there. Gonzalez is in for the Bears. 35 seconds left to go. Kennedy at the top. He's going to throw it to Gonzalez. Back to Kennedy. To Arnold. Arnold motions, trying to get some movement there on the offense. A little stagnant right now, playing kind of slow. It does look like they're playing for that last shot. At least now they are.
You got the answer that you're looking for about the Bears' pace out of their half-court offense here. Now Rossford turns up the pressure a little bit.
We're going to get a foul.
And that's going to put Beltran at the free throw line with 11 seconds. So both teams really will get what they want. The Bears are going to get a chance to score here from the free throw line. Rossford will get one more look at the basketball before the half.
Yeah, now 2 Welling Construction free throws here to come for Cooper Beltran. just a bit high.
And I don't see our overall season stats, but this may be Cooper's first trip to the line this year. If he's got a trip, it's maybe one other.
Yeah, can't get the second one to fall. And now short time left. We got about 8 seconds left. Rossford's going to try to push the pace. Bryan just needs to not foul.
No dumb fouls.
Odenweiler with a 3 in the corner off the front iron. Gonzalez is going to get the ball, and they're going to take it to halftime with a Bryan lead of 38-22 is your main stop scoreboard score. And Bryan leads the half, and honestly in a good offensive way for them.
Yeah, and that quarter started off a little slow for the Bears. And we're going to talk a little bit of shooting stats here at the half. Bears had 10 two-point shots in the first quarter. They only took 2 two-point shots there in the second quarter, and I may have missed one, but the game just changed so much in what it looked like early to what it went to after that Rossford timeout. But the Bears took that 15-4 lead up to a 16-point lead here at the half, so Coach Parker's got to be happy with how the kids responded to Rossford's run to get the game back to 7.
Yeah, great first half offensively, and honestly defensively, they've really only held the scoring to one player. And it's a lot easier to game plan at halftime for one player than all 5 of them.
Yeah, but I think you can afford to let him get his and make sure nobody else bothers you.
Exactly. We're going to take a real quick break, and then we'll be back after this on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
If you served, you may qualify for VA health care, even if you were denied before. New rules recognize burn pit and toxic exposure claims. We can help you apply, understand benefits, and access the care you've earned. Let us help protect your health. Today and for the future, contact us to see how we can help. Williams County Veterans Service Office. Veterans serving veterans.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
As we are at halftime here at the Bears Den. Bryan leads this game 38-22, and honestly really impressive half offensively for the Bears. You saw Jack Kennedy at 15 points. He got kind of hot from the three-point line, and Jake Arnold had 10 points on some good turnovers leading to layups and 1 or 2 cherry-picking baskets. But a good half from the Bears, and one thing I'm really impressed with was their defense to offense, forcing turnovers and making those layups. Because I know when I played basketball, I get turnovers, but I never made those layups.
Yeah, that's what I think. When you looked at the keys, using that defense to transition into buckets, that's probably the best the Bears have looked all year, of being able to turn someone over and then create some transition opportunities. And when that roll happened, when they started getting that rhythm, even when the turnovers were happening at the free throw line or lower, eyes were up, guys were out running, and we looked like a much more confident offensive basketball team because we knew once a deflection happened, now we're getting a runner to take off. And that's what you got to have. If you're getting deflection, getting steals, but nobody thinks the ball's going to get thrown up the court, or I'm not going to get rewarded for my hustle, then guys aren't going to do it. But we're doing it. We're getting the ball up there. We're finishing. And all of that stuff has turned into some really good offense for the Bears in the first half.
Yeah, and it's just been good. They're looking up when they get the steals. There have been a couple times where instead of taking it themselves, they get the pass forward, and then there's no way that the defense can catch up to them. It's been really impressive. And on the Rossford side, we've talked about it a little bit. Their guy, Jackson Greer, behemoth down low, and he's had some great games so far.
Yeah, he's not on the board right now, so I don't know individually, but he's got to have 14 or 16 of their 22, and it may be 14 because Clark or Matthews, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Matthew Clark. He's standing over there. I can't ever get that guy out of my head. Matthews has 6. I think maybe only one other guy's got a bucket for them right now, a three-pointer by somebody. So, we've done a pretty good job. Their guy's going to get his. You and I talked about it before the game. Pettysville played Delphos St. John's today, and Delphos St. John's blew their doors off. I think Pettysville scored 54, and Leppelmeyer had 42. And I really think that's what you got to do with a team like Pettysville is just say, you know what, Leppelmeyer's really good. Let him go get his 25 to 30 or whatever he's going to score, and then we'll just take everyone else away, and you should be good enough to beat 4.
Yeah, exactly.
One guy gets his, great. And if it isn't 50 or 60, you should feel like you have a pretty good chance to win.
All right, let's take a look at some of the stats we got here at halftime.
All right, stats here. The Bears, I talked about it before the game, how we needed to shoot the ball much better than what we have. Being at home, being comfortable in front of the crowd, shooting in your own gym has apparently helped out for the Bears. 9 of 12 shooting from 2 early in the game. 5 of 13 is a really torrid night for the Bears. That's good to see for them. Jack Kennedy's got 2. Tucker Miller's got 2. Jake Arnold's got the other. 9 free throws all coming in the second quarter. You'd like to see that number be better. You'd like to see that 6, 7, or 8 of 9 versus 5 of 9, but the Bears have got to get there to get more comfortable. And the number you love down there at the bottom is 3 turnovers. The Bears have done a much better job of taking care of it. And on the flip side, they've turned Rossford over a lot. Of those 11 turnovers, 8 of those came in that first quarter when the Bears were really getting after them defensively. Rossford doesn't look extremely comfortable shooting the 3. I kind of watched them in pregame, and I thought they had some kids who shot it confidently, but they don't really look to do that. They want the ball inside in Greer's hands, and that's led to an 8 of 15 inside and 6 of 8 from the free throw line.
Yeah, and two things I think are really important to point out here is 75% from the field, or from 2 points there for the Bears. That's a really good number that if you told Coach before the game that's what they're going to be shooting, he'd be ecstatic from that. And the other thing is, of those 11 turnovers, like you said, probably 8 or 9 of them are from the top of the key, or the top of the court there, and they're getting turnovers to points.
Yeah, getting those steals at half court, getting the run-outs, getting the layups, and that's got a lot to do with that 9 of 12 number, as those buckets the Bears are making in of 2s. I can think of Tucker Watson knocking down a 15-footer at the free throw line, and I think the rest are all layups or real close to layups right around point-blank range.
Yeah, and like we said, 38-22 is a great score. Bears are going to be really happy with that. We're going to take one more quick break, and then we're going to be back after this with the halftime adjustments after this on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
From the first whistle to the final buzzer, life is filled with moments that shape us. Moments of victory, of challenge, of community. At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we're honored to stand by families through every season of life. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused.
Allie Held Herman is a 2004 Bryan graduate and former Lady Bear basketball player. Allie tragically passed away in 2021, but she saved the lives of many others through organ donation. Allie's family encourages you to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor.
Our mom gave the gift of life. She is a hero. We love you, Mom.
Today's game is brought to you by Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Veteran Services of Williams County, Andrews, O'Neill and Lowe, Baldy's Furniture, Starks Plumbing and Heating, and Thiel Supply Center. Thank you to everybody for supporting us and these student athletes. All right, let's talk about some of these out-of-town scores brought to you by WBNO and WQCT. No one covers Williams County sports like 100.9 B-Rock. And follow the Bryan Golden Bears all season long on Q96.5. Listen on air or online at WBNO, WQCT.com.
All right, on the boys' side of the ledger, we've got one final, Delphos St. John's 80, Pettysville 54. And Delphos St. John's is a loaded team with a couple of brothers and a cousin and a dad or uncle coaching. The Ewers down there are a pretty good basketball family. 80-54 winners. Leppelmeyer had 42 of Pettysville's 54. And at the half, in a really good game, Columbus Grove leads a real good Patrick Henry team, 27-26. On the girls' side today, Ayersville beat Hilltop 57-37. Stryker beat Sonora 45-29. It was Wayne Trace over Woodland, Indiana, 43-35. Ottawa Glandorf 63, Crestview 37. Archbold beat Kalida 51-39, and Evergreen went down to Maumee 46-41.
Yeah, thank you for those halftime or those scores, and looks to be a lot more basketball starting back up 2 days after Christmas, and we're right back into it.
Yeah, get right back into the flow after a little time off over the holidays. So I think it'll be important here to see 16-point lead for the Bears. They haven't played like this a whole lot, but they played with some confidence. Can they continue to ratchet up that defensive pressure, but careful not to continue the foul trouble, because foul trouble is the one thing that could allow Rossford back into this, whether it's from the free throw line or the Bears just being shorthanded inside. And I would think with Coach Wrights down there in Rossford, they got to continue to say, pound it to Greer, pound it to Greer, pound it to Greer. They don't have an answer for him, and they got to find a way to make sure he gets touches every time down the floor.
Yeah, Greer has been that guy for them so far, and he's going to have to continue that performance in the second half, but they're going to need to get some of those outside shots to fall if they want a chance. Right now, the only way they've really been scoring is either finding him with a pass down low or him getting a rebound and putting it back up for a traditional three-point play. So that's going to be what Rossford needs to do. And like you said with Bryan, they just got to keep their foot on the pedal here. Keep going. Keep playing the way they have been. They got to stay aggressive on defense. And I want to see them on offense. I want to see them try to attack just a little bit more and not get too stagnant. There were a couple times towards the end of that second quarter where they just kind of got a little bit stagnant on that zone breaker and didn't do a lot and weren't really able to find an open shot.
Well, I hope here you've got McGill and Watson in the starting lineup. Maybe the Bears can use a little bit of high-low against that Rossford defense, but I'd like to see touches for Tucker Watson early, get him back in the flow of the game. You've got two guys in double digits already with Kennedy with 15, Arnold with 10. Let's get Watson there right away and get him back in the flow because he sat a lot of that first half.
Yeah, so we're underway here as the second half gets started, and we see Bryan back into this zone. Good job by McGill to hustle there on defense, and they're going to find Greer right away, and he's going to get a layup over Watson. That's good defense from Watson. Had both of his hands up, just even better attacking there from Greer.
Yeah, he made that a tough touch right there.
And there's a turnover there. They tried to find Watson down low, and an interesting layup there from Greer. I think he wasn't on the floor where he thought he was. We're going to get a ball there. Good job from Watson to find a pass there, not travel on the ground.
Bears recovered after that. Rhett McGill, great open look for Rhett McGill.
Yeah, that's one of those things where he's not going to get a lot of wide open threes, so being able to hit it when he gets it, that's great for the team.
Yeah, I mean, Rhett's a great outside shooter. That's a big part of his game where he can play in and out. He works on his shot all of the time, and that's a good sign for Coach Parker's crew.
Well, they're going to find Hoskins in the corner, and he makes the three, and that's what we had just said. Rossford needs those shots to fall, and they get them to fall.
First made three of the night for the Bulldogs.
Now we're going to see Arnold. He's going to drive to the hole. He's going to get fouled.
And that's what the Bears have got to do out of their offense. That was a catch and attack. It wasn't a catch and a hold. Or let's see that he didn't give the defense time to set up. Eyes up was going to be a nice, easy bucket for Tucker Watson without the foul.
Yeah, good foul there by Rossford. They ended up not letting them get 2 points there. Kenny's got to get the ball in. And a good job there to find Arnold. Arnold with a really good pass. And, you know, number 10 there, that was Grimm there. He went to go cover Jack Kennedy and left a wide open hole right there on the paint for Watson.
Rossford defense got a little bit lazy. 4 eyes on Jake Arnold with the ball. Good recognition of that pocket pass being available. And Watson with the soft hands in the finish.
Yeah, and a great assist there by Arnold.
And a nice job by the Bears getting Watson involved early here in the second half.
And there it is again. Greer gets the rebound, puts it back up for 2. That's 18 for him.
He's got a really good nose for the ball. He's around it all the time and does a great job of finishing.
Kennedy, he's going to drive. We're going to see it's Arnold in the corner here. Arnold looking. He's going to get to Welling. Welling's going to wide open 3. His shot off the back of the rim. A great rebound from Arnold and keeps his toes in. And he's going to find Watson. Watson kicks it out to McGill. McGill's shot left. And that's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be a Bears ball. Sorry, Rossford ball.
Good activity there by the Bears. A nice offensive rebound off of the miss. Kept the ball moving. Got 2 good looks. Bryce Welling and Rhett McGill, both guys that you want to take that shot when they're open. Both of those are good looks.
Great looks there. Just can't get them to fall. And now we're going to see Rossford again on offense.
Nice dish right there.
Really good play from Hoskins. Hoskins drives in, gets 2 defenders, and able to dump it off to Greer. That's 20 for the night on Greer.
Yeah, Rossford comes out here. Nice little run offensively. Showed some good spurt. Got a little 9-5 run to start the half. Cut into that Bears lead.
You get Arnold the ball here. He's going to drive with his right on Greer, a floater, and that's a nice shot and gets it to fall off the glass, and we're going to get a timeout, 30-second timeout for Coach Parker, and we're going to stay here. Timeouts when it comes to your home or farm. Make the smart play. From new main water sewer lines to field drainage, S&S Directional Boring keeps things flowing underground so that you can take your timeout in peace. And S&S does it right the first time. Call 419-630-0729 today.
Well, right out of the half here, both teams coming out pretty hot offensively. Really, we've got just a couple of missed shots on both sides. They're taking better care of the ball. The Bears have one turnover. Rossford, none so far after 11 in the first half, so that's been a good adjustment for them. And then we've seen some good shots made both ways. So 16-point lead, still at a 14-point lead here for the Bears. And Greer continues to be a stud for Rossford, but the Bears good balance. They had three guys right about double digits right now as Beltran checks back in for Tucker Watson. And we'll see if the Bears can crank things up defensively a little bit on their end.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Watson so far offensively. You know, normally he's a good guy down low on defense, but he's gotten a lot. He's gotten 10 points for the Bears today. We're going to see he's setting a screen here, and we're going to get a switch, and Kennedy's going to be on him.
Donsbach with a nice offensive move. He can't get it to go. Got Kennedy up in the air, but not able to draw contact.
Yeah, now Bryan's back on the attack.
A good job by the Bears limiting them to one shot.
We're going to find Beltran up top. He's going to be open. He's not going to take that shot, though.
No, Greer's not going to step out there and defend. He chased Bryce Welling out there once. I don't think he's going to chase Cooper Beltran.
Speaking of Welling, he does a good drive and passes it, but Beltran can't get to foul. And they're going to call a foul on Welling. Welling tried to run away from it a little bit, but that's going to be the third foul for Welling on the night.
Tried to sneak in and poke that one away from behind. Tried to catch the Rossford defender. Instead, he got caught, and he picks up his third foul, so he's going to get a break.
Yeah, and that was a good look there for Beltran. Just didn't put enough on it there, and didn't get anything on the way up. So Rossford's back on the attack. A good little poke there from Arnold. Ends up leading to a shot from Rossford and an over the back. That's nice, a good call by the ref.
That's a good check out. Tucker Miller got inside of the taller Rossford player, did a nice job of keeping himself between him and the ball, and he earned that foul call. Great check out by Tucker Miller.
Yeah, really good. And now that's only the second there for Matthews. Matthews and Greer both only have 2 fouls, which is, it seems like that would be helpful for us for our two post guys to not be in foul trouble, but we're going to get Arnold here on the screen from Beltran. He's going to take a step back, long two, and can't get anything on that shot. And that's 2 shots back-to-back. We're just can't even get the rim on him. Rossford's going to drive. They're going to get a shot up and a foul and another three-point play here as we get a foul on McGill. And just gets beat and fouls him because he gets beat. And that's just not what you want there.
No, but that's 3 fouls now on Rhett McGill. So a couple of Bears with 3 fouls here early in the second half, about halfway through the quarter.
Yeah, we're going to see Hunter Watson come in there for McGill. They're going to try to get Watson in. They're not going to get him in before the free throw. So it's going to be Levi Grimm here to shoot for Rossford. Grimm can't get it to fall. Rebounded there and turned over by Matthews. Kennedy on the thing, and he gets a hard foul. And Kennedy goes down hard. It's not what you want to see. I think it just, his knee hit the ground in his head.
Was that Donsbach again?
Yes. And Kennedy in verbal frustration. He's battled so many injuries throughout all the sports, and he's really impactful to this team.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like...
We're back after that injury from Kennedy. He was able to walk off with the help of a trainer and coach, and that's just not what you want to see there. But it's going to be free throws here for Gonzalez, who subs in for Kennedy, so he'll get to shoot his free throws.
Hard contact there at the rim on that shot. That's a couple times with 22 from Rossford being a little bit dirty.
Mm-hmm. Gonzalez's first free throw off the front iron. Free throws are sponsored by Welling Construction, a third-generation family-owned general contractor. We specialize and pride ourselves in building quality custom homes, major renovation projects, and commercial work. Your vision, our expertise. Contact us at 419-636-3712. Second free throw here for Gonzalez, and it falls.
Good job by Sammy coming in cold off the bench. Hasn't played since the JV game. Used all the rim on that.
And Bryan's just trying to get back into the swing of things here on defense. Really good job there by Watson. And that's going to be a foul on Miller. Watson was doing everything right. Miller was coming on to play help side defense, and they're going to get him for the foul there. And that means Greer is going to go back to the free throw line. And I don't know if he's missed from the line yet.
I think he's missed one, but that's about it. Rossford was 6 of 8 in the first half. Missed their first one here in the second half, and you can see Rossford knows if they're going to get back into it, it's going to be through the hands of the big man, sitting on 20, trying to get to 21 right now.
Yeah, so misses the first one after a timely announcer jinx from yours truly.
Good call.
Yeah. And we're going to see Easton Kerr in here. He's been kind of hit or miss this year.
Yeah, he was in the rotation a lot early. Been getting a lot more JV minutes lately, but the Bears are going to have to go down the bench tonight a little bit with 3 guys on the bench with 3 fouls.
There, and he makes his second one, and so now your main stop scoreboard reads 46-34, 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go on your main stop scoreboard. Always open when you need them. You're always near a main stop with Thirsty Thursday every Thursday.
You got 3 guys on the bench with 3 fouls, and then you've got a starter on the bench after an injury. So the Bears have got a little bit of work to do here. A lineup that hasn't played a lot together this year.
Yeah, a lot of young talent. This Bryan team is already pretty young, and you take out Kennedy, and now you're already to a really young squad with Miller out as well. Jake gets him to miss, and his three-pointer off the front can't get it to go, but it's going to get lucky bounce for the Bears, and it's going to go off Greer, yeah, and it's going to be Bryan's ball again, as we're going to see Schreier trek back in, take out Hoskins for Rossford.
Bears got lucky, like you said, ball going off of Greer, get to keep this possession. Now they need to find a way. Where do we find some offense out of this group, find some rhythm out of a group that's not been on the floor a lot together? I think that's where it can go right there. Great move by Tucker Watson.
Yeah, that's a great job by Watson there. He's able to pump fake and gets Greer to jump. A little bit of undiscipline that we see. That's the first time I've really seen him not be disciplined on defense, other than that chasing Bryce Welling, and it's going to be a foul.
I'll say this is about as tight as I've seen a basketball game called this year. And it doesn't matter. I mean, it's been consistent. They've called it consistently tight the entire time. But holy cow, if you're playing high school basketball, every night is a complete crap show on what's it going to be called like. Are they going to let things go? Are they going to call everything? If softball was like this, I'd lose my mind. If it was a strike one game and not the next game and the strike zone changed every time out, I'd lose it.
Really good job from Watson again down low, getting good defense on Greer. And he has not been as dominant in the second half because of the great defense by Watson.
That was a good job by Tucker, not only making it hard to shoot and then not fouling.
Yeah, so we're going to see again. We got to see who's going to be able to step up here for the Bears. Kennedy's their guy who's normally handles the ball. Next to him is Welling, and then maybe Miller. So now you're down to your third or fourth guy that's used to handling the ball and playing at the guard.
And you see Rossford now is face guarding Jake Arnold. Trying to make life hard on him is Watson.
Yeah, high elbow.
Confidently into the 17-footer.
Yeah, that's the high post there from Watson, is able to get it to fall.
Nice job by the senior being confident taking that.
And another foul. That's going to go to Arnold.
Yeah, they're going to call that.
Somehow
Donsbach continues just to drop his shoulder and try to run through people.
Yeah.
And he's getting every whistle that he wants.
Somehow with all the fouls being called, that's only the first for Arnold, and so that's at least a good thing for them, is that he's not in foul trouble yet, so he's okay to take his first foul 2 minutes left in the third quarter. He doesn't get that first shot to fall off the front iron for that first free throw.
Bears still have their lead at 16. That's what they came into half, and right now it's just a matter about holding on until you can find your rhythm and you get those guys back in the game that aren't out there right now.
Yeah, second free throw good, and now your score is Bryan 50, Rossford 35. And we're going to see Arnold take the ball up. And really, we're going to have to see Arnold and Watson really step up here Tucker Watson. I forget there's 2 Watsons on the floor right
Hunter
now.
Watson on the floor now for the Bears, too.
And Gonzalez with a drive. He's going to kick it out to Kerr. Kerr's three-pointer in the corner off the front of the rim. And they're going to call a foul for him trying to get the rebound.
And that's one you just need to let go. If you're Easton Kerr, you know he's got position.
Yep.
I'm not going to get to this. Now I'm just giving up 2 free throws at this point.
Yep.
Can't compound one negative by adding another one to it.
Yep, so a foul 60 feet from the basket. It's going to be free throws for the other team. It's one of those things where you make a little mistake and you want to fix that mistake right away, and it leads to another mistake. You see it sometimes when you turn the ball over, you foul right after. That time he just missed a shot and fouled right after, as that first Welling Construction free throw is good for Carter Matthews. That's only his 4th point on the night. Second falls, that's 5 for him, and your score is 50-37.
Yeah, Donsbach came in averaging 11, so he's got himself going a little bit here at the free throw line now. That 16-point lead now is 13 points. A minute and a half left here. The Bears need to get good shots every possession. They're going to get that bench, other than maybe Jack Kennedy, get that bench back on the floor at the start of the 4th.
Watson three-pointer falls, and that's a huge shot there.
Watson. Big shot by Hunter Watson.
Gets the score back to 16, and just a great shot there. Finds a way. Kicks it out there. Find Drew's back. He's going to take a little midi shot, and it falls.
Nice floater there. Good decision. Saw that baseline was taken away by Tucker Watson. Got the Bryan defender off his feet. Good floater to finish, and he's got 7, maybe all 7 here in the quarter.
So now Bryan trying to get this trying to get something going. 45 seconds left to go. Really, the offense has been stagnant since Kennedy left the game. We're going to get another shot from Watson, and it falls.
Tucker Watson stays hot from around the free throw line.
And that's 14 for him today. And I'm sure Coach Parker is very happy with that. They're going to call a foul.
That's a terrible call. That's offensive all the way.
Yeah, he leads with the shoulder, puts the elbow. Yeah.
He threw the forearm up as he got into contact. That's a terrible call. The official can try to explain that all he wants, but that was offensive. That was the only time there was contact, was when Donsbach threw the chicken wing into him.
And he's going to get his first free throw to fall.
If he gets that call the rest of the game, we're going to watch a lot of free throws, Dom.
Yeah. Just like you're leading with your shoulder already, so it's already kind of hit or miss there, and then you throw out the arm. You can't really set your feet when that's happening. Misses the second one, and now we got 25 seconds left to go. And Bryan it would really help him out to just get a score here in the half, or in the quarter. Gonzalez is going to find it's a good look there from Watson. I don't think he put enough on it. Trying to find the backdoor cut there from Arnold.
Yeah, good reaction by Greer just to poke that away. Otherwise, that was an easy backdoor layup for the Bears. 10 seconds. You get your shot here. Nothing but a shot from us.
Yep. They get it in. Looks like it's going to be trying to get a three-pointer for Arnold. We're going to get a tight shot there.
Even better. We'll take the 2 from Watson. No foul.
Yeah, good job there from the Bears to not foul there. At the end of 3, Bryan leads 55, Rossford 40. We're going to be back after this with 4th quarter action on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Discover great job skills training at Northwest State. With over 50 different programs available, there is something for everyone. Providing hands-on training and education is the community college advantage.
Trust is built when we know someone has our back, on the field, in the stands, and in life. At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we're more than a service provider. We're neighbors and friends. For generations, families have trusted us to care for their loved ones with compassion and dignity.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Welcome back out to the Bears Den. Dom Malanga, Bryan Arnold, as we're getting ready for the 4th quarter action here of boys basketball between the Golden Bears and the Rossford Bulldogs. Bryan leads on the main stop scoreboard 55-40. And like we said, Bryan getting some of their guys back on the floor hopefully adds a little bit of flair to their offense here.
Yeah, and the Bears need to be careful. A couple guys out there with 3. Keep finding Tucker Watson. He got hot from the free throw line. They're giving him that jump shot, and he's knocking it down. So keep using that in your offense. I'd like to see the Bears screen a little bit more out of the offense. Right now they're face guarding against Jake Arnold. He should either screen or get a screen as a way to try to free up and put their defense in a little bit of a bind. But right now it's just a little bit of keep away.
Yeah, and we're going to see – we see McGill back on the floor. We see Welling back on the floor. And they're going to try to find Watson with that high post. He pump fakes, drives in, and they're going to get a foul on that.
Great job by Tucker Watson. Good job attacking. That might be – if that's Greer, that'll be 3 on him. And it is.
Yeah, that's one of those things where, you can complain about him calling it this way, but if they're going to call it this way, you got to play this way. So really good job by Watson to pump fake. He got Greer to jump on that earlier, and then he drives forward and draws a foul, and now he's going to get 2 shots at the line for Welling Construction free throws, and he gets the first to fall. Welling Construction, a third-generation family-owned general contractor. We specialize and pride ourselves in building quality custom homes, major renovation projects, and commercial work. Your vision, our expertise. Contact us at 419-636-3712. And the second.
13 free throws for the Bears tonight for the game. That's definitely a high water mark for the season for us.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. Like we said, we talked about it earlier. We talked about it in our keys to the game, getting to the line and making those shots, and it's been a lot better, I would assume, today.
Yeah, much better night tonight for the Bears. Like to see that change in the offense. There's a travel, pick up the pivot foot.
And we're going to get a 30-second timeout, and we're going to stay here. Timeouts are sponsored by S&S Directional and Boring. When it comes to your home or farm, make the smart play from new main water and sewer lines to field drainage. S&S Directional Boring keeps things flowing underground so you can take your timeout in peace. S&S does it right the first time. Call 419-630-0729. And I was with you there, BA. I definitely thought that was a travel.
I think once you establish that pivot foot, it's supposed to stay on the ground. But I've seen you see players use that move more often, and that too comes down to a crew sometimes. Some of the other officials will look at that and give you a whistle right away. Others allow those couple of steps. So once you know what you can do, you're going to do it. But Donsbach is shown here in the second half. I'm pretty sure he was scoreless at the half. He's got 10 now. Came in averaging 11, so he's found his rhythm a little bit. Came in, started on the bench, so as like the sixth man coming in, he's definitely had an impact both offensively and defensively here for Rossford in the second half.
Yeah, you see that a lot sometimes, is that sixth man who doesn't have as much film on him. He comes off the bench, and he can be a pretty good scorer for a lot of these teams.
Rossford's continuing to play man-to-man. It's been that way pretty much all night.
They're going to try to find Watson down low. And this is a matchup I think Watson thinks that he can do some stuff out of.
I think he does enough good things to cause Greer some trouble. He uses his shot fake, head and shoulder fakes, things like that to give himself good looks.
Really good drive there from Welling. He tries to draw some contact, can't get it. He gets his own board over Greer, misses the second shot, and that'll be Drozbach with the rebound. But I really like that out of Welling.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he even got that. Boy, it's a
close call.
Another tight one there.
Tough for us to see from this angle, but it looked
like a little bit of contact there, maybe.
Yeah, Jake seemed to think he got it, and that would have been another turnover at the top of the top of the volleyball line, the spike line there from the Bears. Just can't get it there.
Yeah, yep. Just the first of the quarter, and that's another thing. We don't want to get lopsided on fouls again and end up letting Rossford shoot a lot of free throws here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Brian's lead's still at 15
as
we're going to get a turnover. Yep, and they're going to get a foul.
There we go. That deflection worked.
Yeah.
There we got the turnover. Sometimes the ball don't lie.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's the term they use. So, yeah, Brian will get the ball back, and that's going to be the third foul there on Schreier. We haven't called his name a lot today. I mean, he's got 3 fouls, no points, and he's been one of those guys that's been in and out of rotation. But, with how the sickness has been, we haven't seen very much of this bench at all. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if they do get into some foul trouble.
Right. And well, Shearer drew the assignment of face guarding Jake Arnold here in the second half, so he's been running laps around the defensive end of the floor most of the second half so far.
A little bit of a hit in the eye there that was Drew's back, as we're going to get a shot for Watson.
A great find there by Bryce Welling. Watson not able to get that one to go, but that's good offense for the Bears. You're going to take that shot all night.
Drew's back, his shot.
He gets it deep again. He gets that shot, gets blocked.
They're down low. They're going to try to find Greer down low. Kick it away. Swelling tries to seal the shot there for Drewsbach, and it falls. We're going to get a full timeout here from Rossford, and we're going to take it with them. We're going to be back after this on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
The historic Bryan Arts and Education building is being renovated for the next generation, transforming it into a welcoming, accessible space where performances and events can be comfortably enjoyed. The $6.2 million project adds lobby and backstage space, new seating, lights and sound system, accessibility, and additional parking. Because here in Bryan, art connects us. Your support, big or small, makes a lasting impact, inspiring generations to come. Donate and learn more at bryanarts.org.
And we're back here at Bryan as we're getting midway through the fourth quarter here. Bryan leads 54-45. A good three-point shot from Rossford cuts the lead to 12. And a timeout there from Rossford. What do you think Coach called that timeout for?
Well, I think part of your timeouts right now is just maybe to save your legs a little bit. You talked about it. They've only had one full practice the last 2 weeks, so his guys are going to be getting a little bit gassed. He's getting into a rhythm now with both Greer and Donsbach, and Donsbach's really been good here in the second half. So a chance to set your defense. If you want to do something special, throw a wrinkle at the Bears right here. You're in a mini run. You got a chance, they're going to come out and run a little full court pressure, see how the Bears handle it, and maybe take advantage. There's a ton of game left. So can you force some turnovers, get some easy baskets, and get this to single digits?
Yeah, now we're going to see he called that timeout to set up a bit of a press here. And a good
when they about got the throwaway that they were looking for, it just happened to end up right in Tucker Watson's hands.
Yeah, now we're going to see a little bit of a breather there for Bryan. Bryan's going to want to play this slow and methodical. They don't want to force any turnovers. They aren't going to force any bad shots. With no shot clock in high school basketball, they're just going to hold on to the ball and try to make smart decisions with it.
Right now it looks like a little bit of keep away. I think the Bears are just trying to adjust to what Rossford's running, a little run and jump, trying to trap everywhere they go.
Miller's going to have a wide open three. His shot won't fall. Welling does a good job to fight for that rebound, and it's going to end up in Watson's hands. Watson will throw it in a good athletic play there by Arnold to keep it in.
Nice job by both Watson and Welling and Arnold to save that possession for the Bears.
Playing a little bit of an aggressive trap defense and
Rossford
leaving
just
people wide open at
trap
the
everything.
3-line.
Yep, they're going to give some things up because they want to force shots. Now Coach Parker sees what's up defensively. He's going to make his adjustments. We'll see if Rossford stays in what they're in. I mean, they're gambling with the point of the game. 4.5 left. You're down 12. If you can force turnovers, which they about did coming down, the Bears got lucky that ball ended up in Watson's hands, and they got the offensive rebound. But if you can get some stops and buckets, this is a single-digit game. You don't know where it's going to go from there, especially the way the whistle's been called pretty tight. And I think that favors Rossford, whether it's at the free throw line or getting the ball in the hands of Greer.
Yeah, I like that timeout call from Coach Parker. Like you said, we almost had the ball turned over on that inbound play. They're one turnover away on our offensive side from stealing the ball, quick transition bucket, stealing the ball in a turnover, and then they score 4 or 5 points in a span of 5 seconds because we weren't really prepared for what they were throwing at us. So good timeout call. He had 4 to start this fourth quarter here, so good. I like this timeout call from Coach Parker. Give him some time to set this up and know exactly how they're going to attack this.
Yeah, I think this way everybody's on the same page. You might have had a couple of guys out there that understood the situation and understood what Rossford was doing, but you can't trust that everybody knows. So now you know everybody's on the same page. The Bears still have 3 timeouts left. That was a good one to burn right there to make sure that you get good looks out of every possession. Every possession's going to end with a shot or free throws from here on out if the Bears are going to win the game.
Yeah, so Miller's going to get it from the blob. He's going to pass it around, and it's going to get to Welling. Welling looking to drive, and they're looking to trap here, it looks like.
Well, they had a good look. They had a chance for Tucker Watson on the block early in that out-of-bounds play and just couldn't find him. There's a good look from Jake Arnold to Bryce Welling. Bryce just cannot find anything around the basket, trying to adjust to the height of Rossford. But they got that good look that they were hoping for.
And there we see him leaning his shoulder in again, but he gets the ball taken from him. Welling going to the hole. A little bit of a chippy foul, and they're going to say it's and one.
That's a great job by Bryce Welling anticipating that foul from Donsbach.
Yeah, that's a really good job. He gets the contact early
and finish.
Yeah, steps up through, gets that contact early, and finds a way to finish. And that's going to be a 4th foul there for Drewsback. So, and he's going to stay in the game, and now Welling has a chance for a Welling Construction free throw. That's what you said. You know, Welling, he was frustrated with that missed layup, and he really quickly has to have a memory of a goldfish and makes that one right there.
Well, that part should be easy as Bryce knocks that down, gets himself a 3-point play.
Bryan's lead back to 15. That's Welling's 4th point of the night.
And a big 3-point play there for the sophomore.
Good hustle there from Arnold. Just can't get with the ball.
And there forces a turnover and gets a travel out of bounce back.
That's a play you love to see out of a hard-working freshman there. You know, he probably it would have been nice for him to dive on the ball, but just those types of plays get the team ready. They want to play. You know, you see somebody laying it out, you want to go out there and put it in your whole effort too.
You got to lead with energy, and sometimes you want to be so confusing the other team doesn't know how to respond to what you're doing.
Yeah, they're like, what do you do when someone dolphin dives on the floor right next to you? As Arnold gets the 3 to fall, and that's huge for the Bears as their lead grows to 18.
A couple of good plays back-to-back for the Bears there. Good wall up by Watson. Good ball movement there, but better defense by the Bears. Greer misses a point-blank one, and Watson, a great job again not fouling.
Yeah, with how this game was called, I was kind of shocked they didn't call a foul there on Watson, but really good defense. And Bryan's going to get the ball again. Arnold's going to get the ball up top. He's going to give it down to Watson. Watson's going to kick it to Welling.
You see Rossford just after that possession.
He's going to get fouled again, and that is the 5th for Drewsbeck.
You see that one possession, Rossford was running around the run and jump, but they had it at 12 trying to get to single digits, and you see that's the Bears with a couple of good possessions back-to-back stretch this lead out to 18 now. And now Rossford's they're a little more satisfied just to play their straight-up man with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, you know, he had 12 of their 45, so taking him out of the game, you know, we kind of talked about it. We can guard one guy. We're perfectly fine with one guy having all their points, and their other guy who had their points is now out of the game for the last 3 minutes and 11 seconds of this game.
And
so
I don't remember what Greer had at the half, but it was 16 or 18, and he's got 21 now. So the Bears have done a nice job against him in the second half.
Yeah, so we're going to see Odenweiler come in for Matthews, and I think it was Schreier comes in for Drewsbeck. Welling's going to drive with his right. He'll keep it. He's got a mismatch now down low for Watson if they can get it to it, but they're going to switch back. They're going to find him down low anyway, and a really nice find there from Watson and a really good finish.
Yeah, good penetration by Arnold, and the bounce pass to Watson for another finish there for Tucker. Watson gets him to 18. A great game here for the senior tonight, just when the Bears needed it.
Wide open 3 falls for Hoskins.
Another 3 for Hoskins. He's hit a couple of corner threes. Another timeout for Rossford. I think that's a good strategy for Coach. Get him settled down. He knows he's got tired troops. He knows this is rough on the legs. He's still got one left after this. So good strategy by Coach Reitz as he's trying to get his crew back into this ball game.
Yeah, and again, our timeouts are sponsored by S&S Directional and Boring. When it comes to your home and farm, make the smart play. From new main water and sewer lines to field drainage, S&S Directional Boring keeps things flowing underground so you can take your timeout in peace. S&S does it right the first time. Call 419-630-0729 today. You know, we're back to I think it's a 13-point lead for the Bears. 17-point lead for the Bears. No, I can't do math. I'm on break. But
17. You were right the second time.
Yeah. So
if it was multiple choice, you'd have gotten there eventually.
Yeah. So this is where the Bears have kind of been the whole game, around that 15-17 threshold. And you know, with 3 minutes left in the game, this is a good spot to be in.
Right. This is where you want to be on this scoreboard right now. We've been on the other end a lot. And I think that's probably the best. That's probably what Coach Parker is going to be the happiest about, is that Rossford has cut in the lead, the Bears responded. Rossford have cut into the lead, the Bears respond. Every time Rossford's made a run and shown a little bit of energy, got some momentum, the Bears have had an answer. And that's what you want to see out of a young team that's had some trouble scoring. You got 65 points. You got some guys that have been able to find the bottom of the basket. Most importantly, make good decisions. Right now, sitting on 4 turnovers for the night for the Bears.
We got a full-court press, and Tucker Watson is wide open.
Everybody in the gym saw him.
I was seeing it, too.
And the Bears finally found him.
Yeah. That's one thing, when you put all 5 guys on one side of the floor, Tucker Watson sneaks back, and he's wide open, and the kids are loving the scoreboard right now.
Somebody's got to be open, that's for sure. Another good deflection there by Tucker Miller to Arnold, back to Miller. Attacks, can't get the layup to go.
Oh, and swatted away there from Greer.
Good recovery by Rossford defensively. Yeah. Bryce Welling got himself stuck. He thought he was going to get a quick diagonal and didn't, but a good alert timeout there to save the turnover. You know, as I was saying before, Tucker Miller made the great full court pass to Tucker Watson for the bucket. Bears are sitting at 4 turnovers tonight.
Yeah.
You know, that's good if you're great, let alone for the Bears who have had their struggles at times this year. If you can take care of the basketball like that and handle pressure defensively and run your half-court offense and end possessions with shots, you're going to have a lot more success. You're going to be in a lot more ball games, and I think that's something that the Bears can build off of moving forward.
Yeah, and like we said with that press, if they're going to leave a guy wide open on the other side, it's a bit of a risky throw, but if your inbounder is confident enough throwing that in, you aren't going to have to worry about it.
Yeah, and that's a really nice job by the back of the press, keeping their eyes up, and Tucker Miller spotting that and making the good long pass. And then a good decision by Tucker Watson, because you got to finish that. You know you've got to get the bucket if you're going to attack, and he made it look easy.
Yeah, so if you're Bryan here, minute 45 to play, you just want to keep control of the ball. Don't turn the ball over. Don't make any dumb mistakes and kind of flow it out. And there we go from Tucker Watson. Has had himself a day. That is 22 for Watson with a chance to make it 23. And he has just really helped put his team on his back this half.
He has been great finishing, and he's got to be really happy too, because he's gotten to open spots and the guards have found him. He's gotten a lot of good touches off of one pass, whether it's been a pocket pass or a quick diagonal, whatever it is. He's taken advantage of some good looks by the guards, and he's been really good from the free throw line. Bears 4 for 4 from the line here in the second half.
And I remember last year when I would interview Parker before games, I was one of those guys he always mentioned in his interviews was Tucker Watson is one of those guys. And we're going to get ball's going to go out of bounds. Welling got hit in the face a little bit. Not sure exactly what they called.
There's a good chance he might hit himself in the face. I don't know. There's a lot of action going there. Hands were flying everywhere. He got a good tip, couldn't get the handle on it. Turnover to turnover. We're just going to call that one a wash, as Rhett and Bryce will both get a chance to come out, and Kerr and Cito on the floor now for the Bears.
Yeah, and as I was saying, Watson was one of those guys that Coach Parker thinks very fondly of. He loves his athleticism, his size, and he knows that he's been working on those post moves a lot. And just this game has been one of the best games I've seen Tucker Watson play.
Yeah, he's had himself a good night tonight.
We're going to see
Coach Parker able to get the starters off and get some other guys on the floor here. Last minute 25 with a 22-point lead.
Yeah, that's something that another thing here in Bryan you're really excited to see is it's not often that we get to get a lot of those guys in because we're on the winning side of the ball.
Exactly.
So, really good.
And the JV guy, you got a couple of JV guys out here, and they've been playing really good this year. They've done a nice job, winning record, winning more than they're losing for sure. And that's another bright spot for the Bears.
Yeah, in and out there on that shot from Rossford. And honestly, really good defense on Greer from Cooper Beltran. Minute left to play here on the main stop scoreboard. Bryan leads by 22, scores 70-48. Easton Kerr is
nice
wide open down
by
low.
Cito. Great catch by Kerr.
Athletic way to catch it, just kind of off balance when he made that shot.
Bears save that possession, though. Good hustle by this crew.
Yeah, and even these guys coming in are doing a good job moving the ball, not turning it over. It's going to be a foul there, and that's the fifth, so we're shooting here. It's going to be Beltran's going to get a chance for Welling Construction free throws. Welling Construction, a third-generation family-owned general contractor. We specialize and pride ourselves in building custom quality homes, major renovation projects, and commercial work. Your vision, our expertise. Contact us at 419-636-3712. Beltran had a little bit of a struggle at the line the first time he went, but he gets the first one to fall.
Just got to get there and get comfortable. The more we can shoot free throws, the more comfortable we're going to get at the line, and that percentage is going to go up across the board.
Second one can't fall. So now Rossford just trying to get something positive to end this game off on.
Yeah, find a way to get a couple buckets. No foul here, just let Greer, just don't foul. There's no reason to foul right there. He's going to shoot a left-handed scoop shot, let him do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Beltran had the arms up, but it definitely was a little bit too over the top.
He dropped that right hand down just a little. Couldn't help himself.
Yeah. I get it, too. It's a pride thing. You don't want him to score on you with a couple seconds left.
But he has been pretty quiet here in the second half. The Bears have done a nice job taking him away by just playing behind. Just like that right there. Play behind, stay straight up, and make him hit a tough shot, and don't give him just an open look at the basket.
Mm-hmm. He's had like 6 or 8 this half compared to his 18 that first half.
The Bears do not check out on that one, get beat on the boards.
So, 23 seconds left to play. Bryan should be able to just dribble this out. Gonzalez is going to drive the hole, pass it out. Loses the glasses while he's doing it. Cito's going to get the ball. He's going to find Beltran. 10 seconds to go. Kicks it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez will have a shot off the back, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Bears. 3 seconds left to play. That's a shot where
I think Sammy thought, I got these glasses straightened back on here. Let me try this three.
Yeah.
Then he's going to tell the guys later, you know what, I'm not sure. I think they were crooked. I'm not sure I got that back on my nose right.
Yeah, and Bears will dribble the game out, and that's going to be a win. The Golden Bears win 71-50 over the Rossford Bulldogs. And just honestly a really great game from the Bears.
It was a really good game. You have 3 guys in double figures. I think the really good news here is Jack Kennedy's back up on his feet. He's standing at the end of the bench, not moving a whole lot, but he was standing up at the timeouts. Hopefully nothing serious with him after he went down on that cheap foul underneath the basket from Donsbach. So, we'll see how he does. He's a little bit gimpy on it, but we'll see maybe a couple of days of some therapy. I think he knows somebody that might be able to help him out, and we're going to need him moving forward. Immediately next Saturday night at Montpelier, one of the best teams in the area. They've been scoring a ton of points, playing really good basketball. So, Jack Kennedy is important regardless of who you're playing. But moving forward here, you've got some big games coming up in January, and at Montpelier next Saturday is the first one.
Yeah, we're going to get a real quick break, and then we'll come back with our stats and the rest of our postgame show after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Here in Williams County, we believe that no veteran should feel forgotten. Our Veteran Service Office is here to serve, helping with VA claims, pensions, healthcare enrollment, and so much more. We're veterans serving veterans with dignity, honor, and respect. Reach out to us today to see how we can help, because the only veteran we can assist is the one that doesn't contact us.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
This community is more than a place. It's where we celebrate victories and where we lean on one another in times of loss. At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we're proud to be rooted here, serving with care and compassion when it matters most. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, family owned, family focused.
Welcome back out to the Golden Bear Sports Network. Don Malanga, Brian Arnold, as Bryan Golden Bears get a win 71-50 to end the game against the Rossford Bulldogs. A team that we've only played 3 times in our history, but we win our third one here, and that's one that I know Coach Parker had circled on his calendar, saying, "Hey, this is one that we can get back." We had a tough game, tough stretch of games, lost our last 3, able to come back and get a good win there, a good team win, and just some really standout play from a couple of those seniors. Jack Kennedy, before he went down, had a great game, and then you look at Tucker Watson, who really stepped up after Kennedy got hurt. 23 points by him, and just phenomenal play by the Bears and really impressive win for them. And I know that's something that they're going to be really happy with and a really good Christmas gift for Coach Parker. And, as we kind of looked at this game, the 2 biggest things for me were defensively. I thought the Bears played phenomenal. I know it was 11 turnovers at the first half. I'm pretty sure maybe 3 or 4 more in the second half. I'm sure we're going to get those later with stats. But, that's something that they were really happy with and something that they played really well with. And, going in, they did a really good job of turning turnovers into points.
Yeah, they said, we mentioned it early with Keys. We mentioned a little bit in the first half that's what they were getting accomplished. And that defensive pressure in the first half, turning Rossford over 11 times in the first half, led to a lot of transition buckets. Jack Kennedy benefited from that. Jake Arnold benefited from that. And that's a great way to get your offense going. Chris Malanga and I talked about it all the time during the girls' run. Tim Meister and I talk about it all the time, watching how the girls have played defense and used that defense to lead to offense over the years. Now everything else gets easier because you've got the momentum. You've got some confidence. I don't care if it's from a foot away and you're laying it in or whether you're making it from 20 feet and it's for 3. Ball starts going through the net. Everybody feels a little bit better. Everybody feels a little bit looser, and you're not carrying things on your shoulders. So if you can get that defense to turn over their offense and lead to some buckets, you're gonna have good nights. And 71 points for the Bears as they come in averaging, I think, right about 40 or 41 a night is a huge, huge improvement on the offensive end.
Yeah, you'll definitely take that. That's something that this Bears team has struggled with is scoring. They haven't had anybody that was really able to step up and be that guy like we've talked about. But we didn't need one or two guys to do it for us tonight. It was a team effort tonight, as we had, I think, 3 or 4 guys with double-digit points tonight, and that's something that kind of propelled this Bears team to getting that win.
Yeah, 3 guys in double digits led by Watson? What did he end up 20 with 23 points out of senior Tucker Watson tonight. Jack Kennedy, before he went out, was at 14 or 16. Jake Arnold ended with 14 or 15. And one of the big numbers we'll talk about with stats, you shot just over 30% from 3, but you made 8 3-pointers. And coming into the season tonight, I can tell you, breaking it down, we had 11 made 3-pointers outside of Jake Arnold coming into the game tonight. Jake Arnold had 12. The rest of the team had 11. And tonight you got 2 from Jack Kennedy, 2 from Tucker Miller, 2 from Jake Arnold, a 3 from Hunter Watson, and a 3 from Rhett McGill. If you can start to show that you are that kind of team that can take and make shots from outside of the arc, especially when you're not huge. Mm-hmm. Now you can pull some of those bodies out of the paint. Now with Tucker Miller, who maybe can't go at 2 guys, but he's got some great moves and can go against 1. You saw what happened when you freed him up against another big defender. The shot fakes, 1 good dribble, goes strong to the basket, and then when they didn't come out, knocked down 15-footers.
Yeah.
I mean, he was able to play a really all-around great offensive game.
Yeah, great job at the post. And one thing I want to highlight on these stats is Rossford 3 for 12 from shooting the threes. We really, you can look at that and say, oh, we gave them 12 threes, but I see it as like they made them take bad shots because they were playing really good defense inside.
And they're running that offense through Greer. Everything runs through the big man inside. So for them, the 3-point shot's secondary anyway. In the first half, I think I had them at 0 for 4 from 3. Like, they weren't even looking to take 3-point shots in the first half. So that became more of a part of the game for them because they had to take that shot in the second half trying to get back in it. But they want things to go through Greer. They want things to go through Matthews. And even Don's back, who's a double-digit scorer, he wants to get it going to the basket. Mm-hmm. You can see the way he would put his shoulder down and attack. He wants to go shoot balls from in the paint off of 2 feet or shoot free throws. So, you kind of get them out of their game once you build that lead. And that turnover number is huge as well. The Bears ended up with 4 turnovers. 3. I suppose I could have missed 1 or 2 somewhere, but it's definitely single digits. Mm-hmm. And Rossford at 16 with 11 in the first half. If you can create that kind of disparity in a basketball game where you're ending your possessions, who knows? I don't know how many possessions they had in this basketball game, but there were quite a few because of the point total. To end all but 4 or 5 of your possessions with a shot or at the free throw line, you're going to be very successful. You're going to do a lot better things offensively if you can pull that kind of number.
Especially, when you're leading by as much as you are in that second half, teams start to get a little bit desperate. They start to do a little bit more, and Bryan did a really good job of not forcing bad passes, passing to open guys, especially towards the end when they were trying to get that trap in. Really, really good job with the ball and didn't really turn it over.
I think that's a good point, too, because the Bears have not done that well. I don't say all season, but they've not done that well consistently this year, being able to take care of the ball in the half court, take care against some high pressure. Rossford's a little longer than the Bears. They're probably not as long as what you're going to see out of a PH or someone like that. But I thought the Bears probably built some confidence off of this ball game tonight by showing themselves that when the ball moves quickly and you make the defense rotate and move, hey, that big guy inside gets open a lot, mm-hmm. and we can find him. Or if if I actually penetrate a gap and I hit an open spot, then maybe the big guy can step to an open spot and I can bounce pass to him. I can throw a little bit over the top, and we can end up with some easy points in the paint. So hopefully our young guards learned from that night tonight by what they did and the things they had success with.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to cut to one more break, but before we do, make sure that you keep up with all the Bryan Sports action by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Get notified when we go on the air for each game, too. Head to youtube.com/Bryan Sports and hit the subscribe button. We're going to take one more quick break, and then we'll come back with our final wrap-up after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Welcome back out to the Golden Bear Sports Network. Today's game is brought to you by Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Veteran Services of Williams County, Andrews O'Neill and Lowe, Baldy's Furniture, Stark's Plumbing and Heating, and Thiel Supply Center. Thank you for sponsoring the Golden Bear Sports Network. Our next games here there's a bunch of them here on the Golden Bear Sports Network, is the Holiday Classic here coming up on begins Monday, December 29th. We're going to have all the games here. I think we're doing both JV and varsity. I'm not sure if but for sure we're doing all of the varsity games. That's always a fun tournament to do, and I think you're the one calling them, so.
Yeah, and I think we've got some student broadcasters for the JV games during the day, which is always fun, great experience, and then ball games all day. Monday and Tuesday, the Holiday Classic is always full. So, the Lady Bears played Toledo Bowser in that first round. We've got Bowser and Maumee. Bowser's been here before. Maumee's a new team to the tournament. Fairview and Bryan have been doing this forever. Fairview's been playing really good early in the season here. Coach Zedike's done a great job with his team. Got a couple of young kids, too, a freshman and some younger kids that are leading the way for him. So it'll be interesting to see them for the first time this year, and we'll see if the Lady Bears can rebound. They took a tough one to Archbold, a 1-point loss in one of the crazier games you're going to see in a high school basketball game.
Yeah.
And then I'd say they went to Genoa on Monday, but I'm not sure anybody really showed up to that one. Just not a good ball game at Genoa on Monday. So chance to get that bad taste out of their mouths and get back in the win column in their own gym, in their own holiday tournament. And hopefully the Lady Bears will find a way to right the ship.
Absolutely, and our broadcast is going to start at 6 p.m. there that Monday. We're going to say thank you to our crew, our director, Chris Allspaw, robotics, Wesley Lupo, replay, Chris Malanga, cameras were Camden Reasoner, Ethan Fryman, and Gabby Malanga, and at Q96.5 was Rick Armentrout. This student broadcast is produced by the Golden Bear Sports Network for the private use of our audience. Any duplication or other use of this broadcast, including descriptions or accounts of the game without the express written consent of the Bryan City School District, is prohibited. One final time for all of us at GBSN. With Brian Arnold, I'm Dom Malanga. Again, your final score is 71-50. Have a great night, everybody.